Right, and we're back. And it's a little bit of a different something for you today. I actually have a story to share with all of you. I'm in the middle at the moment of settling a house, and you'd think that that would be taking up most of my time, but I took the day off today of working because I wanted to get everything sorted because today's actually settlement day. So big deal. You would think this would be the thing that is the story is about, considering it's the day I'm supposed to get the house and everything, hand the keys over, all that exciting stuff. But no, it's not. So I arrived home from work yesterday, and I got a mail slip in the post. So presumably I have some sort of package waiting for me in the post office. All right, fantastic. I got home late, didn't have time to get it yesterday. Going in to get it tomorrow. Anyway, the house that I'm in right now, there's a post office that's really close to me. That it always all the mail at the house gets delivered to this post office if I miss it. When I'm not home. So I don't even look at the slip. I go, all right, yep, I'm just going to duck in and get that tomorrow while I'm sorting out all of my real estate business. So I wake up in the morning and I think to myself, look, I'm gonna have some breakfast. I'm gonna get that out of the way first. Being proactive. Taking control, but also at the same time being incredibly lazy and thinking, hey, well, I'm not really just going to get changed to just drop off into this. This post office is like by itself in the middle of nowhere. It's not in a shopping center or anything. I don't have to look any particular way. I'm not going to do anything. My hair's just going to be a mess. I'm going to be a mess. I'm going to be wearing my pajamas. It's just going to be a pop in, pop out. The little Asian lady behind the counter at the store has seen me in much worse states than this. We're going to be fine. So I jumped straight in my car, got my little postage slip with me, and I head on down. It's about a 5 minute drive to the post office there. Anyway, I get out. I look like a bomb has hit me, right? I just look like a homeless drug addict, right? So I get out of this car. I walk over to the post office. There's like this is a tiny post office, right? This is small. This is like some hole in the wall shit here. This is like very small post office. Anyway, I walk in there, and there's my usual attendee behind the counter, and there's about 5 people in this post office. Now, I don't think 5 people have ever been in this building at the same time before. I think they just made a special appearance there just to like ruin my whole I'm not going to be seen in the morning thing. But anyway, there they were, and of course, the second I walk in, there's no doorbell or anything, but they can sense it. They can sense the unkempt mess that's just walked in through the door. So all of them simultaneously turn around and look at me, and they're all like 80 plus years old, and it's just a very awkward situation. They're giving me that look of, oh my goodness, the youth of today, kind of thing. Anyway, I walk on through. Don't let it bother me. I'm just here to collect my parcel. Anyway, I hand the slip over. She searches around for about 5 minutes. The entire 5 minutes, these people's eyes are boring into the back of my head like a couple of Ryobi 30-watt drills. Anyway, she comes back and she says, "Oh no, I couldn't find it. Because look on the slip here, it's at this completely random ass post office that I've never ever had to pick anything up from. Never, not once." So anyway, she goes, "No, we don't have it here." Anyway, I thank her for her time and then just sort of skulk out. These people still there, by the way. That I don't know what they were doing. Possibly just enjoying the scene as I was shambling past them that morning. Anyway, I reach my car and I get back in and I think to myself, all right, okay, this post office, it's shop 104. Okay, that generally means that that's going to be in some sort of bigger shopping complex. And then I had a moment of critical decision. I was like, all right, do I just go home, brush up, chuck on some actual clothes, uh, and like actually walk into this post office, collect this parcel, or do I not care that much? And not caring much won. So anyway, I went over to this new address, put it into my GPS, had to find it. Turns out it's in the local sort of big shopping center, which I go to all the time, mind you. But I've never seen this shopping center. I've never seen, sorry, the post office in the shopping center, not once. I have no idea where it is. And this is a pretty big shopping center, right? So anyway, I park in my usual spot and I walk in, and it's a Friday morning, right? And it's like senior citizen discount time at this local area because I live in like a kind of an older district, and it's like the morning tea that everyone gets a discount on with their seniors card. So this place is just packed. I mean, people aren't moving very fast, but oh god, there's a lot of them. And I'm walking in here, And I feel like now is a good time to mention that the pajama pants that I had on, I was just sleeping in these, right? And it was cold. I usually just, sleep with some sheets, but I donned the pajama attire. So these pants, right? I never wear these pants out. Never. They're some old ass pants. They are like falling apart, and to the point where I have to actually hold them up physically if I walk more than 5 steps in a row. So, you know, I'm walking into this situation, hand on the hip. I actually put my hand in my pocket. I had this slip in the other hand and my keys and everything like that. But I had my hand in my pocket, sort of dug up against my hip, supporting my pants, right, while I was walking around the shopping center. Still looking absolutely homeless, hair just a mess. It was just, I must have looked like the just an absolute shamble. Anyway, wasn't made like any better by the fact that it took me like 500 years to get anywhere, because there's 100 million people blocking my way with walking frames and walking sticks, and everyone's out and they're having their morning tea and they're just littering the streets. It's just, anyway, I was walking through the shopping center, and from where I parked, even as the crow flies, you could not get further away from the post office. When I had finished looking for it, it was literally up the other end of this shopping center. Anyway, I walk in there. This is one of those post offices that's big. It has some traffic through there. Clearly, the senior citizens here get a lot of post delivers, because this place is like the Taj Mahal compared to our normal little post office hole in the wall. Anyway, I walk in there, and there's a big sign, massive sign. There are 2 service desks in this post office, right? Big massive sign in the middle of them both that says, "Please wait here to be served." And sure enough, there's a person at each counter. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. We're fairly close. We're the home stretch here. I'm holding up my pants. Everything's gone well. So I'm standing there and I'm just on my phone, and then the lady at the right service desk, she does her thing. Gets a parcel, a bucket of asparagus, whatever it was she was picking up from the post office there. And I take one step in that direction, and this just woman out of nowhere. I've never seen a woman this small and this sort of generously proportioned move so quickly. She just flies in front of me. I didn't even get a good look at her. She was this small, rotund Arab woman, and she was carrying what looked to be garbage bags full of pillows. And there was an obscene amount of them. Not just like a couple of pillows in a big bag. That she was carrying, like, there would have been like 5 to 10 pillows in 2 to 3 bags. So we're talking like a total of minimum 15 pillows. I mean, this woman was like the traveling pillow salesman. Anyway, she bolts in front of me, and then the woman behind the counter sort of says to her, "Excuse me, madam, were you in line?" And then she looks at her, and then she turns around and looks at me, and I was not in the mood for this, right? So I had this scowl, and also a mix of scowl and disbelief on my face, because it was kind of funny what I was seeing. But when she turned around, hand to God, she turned around, she had a full beard. A full beard. And this was a woman. I guarantee you this was a woman with a full beard. Little bearded female Arabic pillow salesman. That's what I'm going to go with. And anyway, she goes, oh, and then I walk up to the counter, and I thought that she would step down after being gracefully defeated by, common sense and manners. But no, she instead of standing at the back of the line, because there was a poor lady behind me, right? Instead of standing at the back of the line, she chooses to just move sort of 1 foot to the right, which meant that, and in the way this was set up, it meant that I had to stand in contact with her pillows. And she wouldn't move. She just stood there looking at me, like, the entire time. I've given over this slip, and I'm looking at her, and I'm thinking, like, what is happening here? And she is just unrelenting. There is just no shame in her eyes. She is just looking straight at me, as if I'm the asshole here for standing, in physical contact with a complete stranger that I just, like, shoved in front of in line, carrying my 100 million pillows. And anyway, I was thinking to myself, okay, this experience is almost over. We're fine. We're just going to get the parcel and we're going to leave, and this crazy pillow salesman can go have an argument with the next woman in line. Anyway, from out of nowhere, from behind the shroud of these enormous space these pillows were taking up, honestly, and she never put them down. This chick was definitely committed to carrying these pillows, because it would have been a pain in the ass to carry around. But from the gigantic sort of upside down mushroom shroud that she created with these pillows in her body, comes this small child, right? And this happened so fast that I could barely do anything. And I was standing completely still, right? So, which meant that the need for pants support was no longer required, or so I thought. I'd put my stuff on the table and I was just waiting for this parcel. This is a big post office, right? They probably had to go out into the Gringotts vaults of parcels, right? So she took a solid 3 minutes to get there, like literal time 3 minutes to get this parcel, and it was a small one. It would have been hard to find. Now this kid comes out of nowhere, right? He's got like a toy Tonka truck or something along those lines. Anyway, he's running around with it, making all this noise. I'm assuming that his responsible keeper was somewhere else in the post office because this place was big. It was like the Bunnings of post office. Anyway, he just comes flying out from behind the shroud of these pillows and just trips ass over on one of the bags that this lady has of pillows, right? He just clips that thing with his ankle and it wasn't one of those I have fallen falls. It was one of those like you see this kid is gonna just go like he's just gonna eat shit. This is just gonna be like a big fall. It's gonna be tears, crying, busted lips, all this sort of stuff. Anyway, I see this happening and I turn around and I try and put my hand out, right? I do the honorable thing. I'm saving a child's life here, Let it never be said that I didn't step in when stepping in was needed, all right? I'm like a hero in this situation. And then he reaches out, or flails rather, in my general direction. I was hoping that I could get like a hand under him, maybe just support under the chest or something and like catch the kid before he fell to the floor. One of his rogue little mitts just manages to clip the pocket of my pants, right, with one of his fingers. So he's gotten one of his deviant claws into my pants. Keep in mind, these are the pants that gravity was too much for. I had to actually fight for them. They're so weak, they can't even stand up to the force of gravity. So what do you think happened when this kid was falling and in a final fit of trying to save himself clipped his little child claw into my pocket? And of course the pants went down just about as hard as he did. And the great thing about it being pajamas is that why wear anything underneath them? So I'm standing there in the middle of this post office, old ladies, old men littering the post office and the shopping centre, travelling Arabic bearded female pillow salesman gawking right at me. I told you she wasn't taking her eyes off me, right? And this kid has just dacked me like bear pickle in the middle of this post office. And as far as the start of a Friday morning goes, I challenge you to make a run-of-the-mill task like that end more awkwardly than that did for me. So I hope you enjoyed that little story because I will never be attending that post office again. The bearded lady pillow salesman, I hope that her future endeavours go well. And to all the people who saw me in that shopping centre that day, I do apologise for the unnecessary amount of skin that you would have seen. That's it.